record right now. I am not a model, where and truly there isn't a single person that looks good in everything. I'm just talking here about kind of the misconception that a lot of people have that style should be easy, that everybody else has it figured out, that it is their fault if they just didn't just get the gene, the fashion gene, the style gene. They just weren't born with that gene. Nobody is born with that gene. Again, even women with naturally good taste, if you want to call it that, have to work at building a wardrobe. Those are two different skills. And it's also two different skills to know what looks good on you and to build a wardrobe. I knew what looked good on me. I had that because I was in the fashion industry and I worked with models and I dressed models and I dressed myself and I understood those concepts, behind flattery and fashion and fit and all of that. What I did not know how to do was build a wardrobe. I had no idea how to build a wardrobe, and my wardrobe was a hot mess for a very, very long time. It was a hot mess for a very long time. And I literally didn't just never had anything to wear to any of the places that I was going. I just didn't. Every time something came up, I would have to scramble, I would have to run, I would have to go shopping for it. So what I'm trying to teach you guys today is that like any other skill in life. This is something that we can acquire, we can work out, we can build, we can develop like a muscle. And I always joke, I cannot actually teach you how to build actual muscles, but I can teach you, and you can tell by looking at me that I do not have actual muscles, but I can tell you how to build fashion muscles. And it's like anything else, it's repetition and it's consistency. And it's really focusing on not a single item, but how a new item that you're bringing in is going to fit into the ecosphere of your wardrobe. It doesn't mean that everything in your closet has to go with everything else, but they have to look like they're in the same family. And I have been in closets where it looks like someone is a club kid by night and a corporate executive by day. And you're like, those two aesthetics just don't belong to the same person, much less the same wardrobe. So it's really like, oh, I'm so glad that the video on tights was very helpful. Thank you, Amy, for that suggestion. And I had really been writing notes on I love this. I've heard French women talk about how their grandmothers teach them style and etiquette. Yes. And I do think that in Europe, there is often more of an emphasis on building a wardrobe and not just on chasing trends. So I want to talk about that for a second because trends are like a little bit of seasoning that we can put on top of our outfits. They should not play a major role in our outfits. And I'm telling you, this is what I was doing, and this is why my wardrobe was broken for so long. It was broken for so long because I was buying whatever was new, and then it did not matter whether that item was going to work for me, like whether I was going to have opportunities to wear it, whatever. So when you look at building a wardrobe, you're looking at the new things that you're bringing, working with the things that you already have in your closet so that you don't find yourself with lots of like one-off random, wardrobe orphans that don't go with anything else because they were on sale and there happened to be one left in your size and you believe that that was just a direct communication from God that that item needed to be in your wardrobe. I have, to my knowledge, she doesn't work that way. Oh, it's one left and it's in my size and it's $15, but will you wear it? Will you wear it? I have gone into so many closets where I have seen women say, yeah, I bought this at Marshall's. I bought this, this was, only $10. What? And I'm like, and then they're like, well, yeah, but I don't really want to spend that much money on an X, whatever that is. Something that would be genuinely useful in their wardrobes, in their lives, and in their style. I'm like, you've already spent that money. Here, you've got 5 tops that you're not wearing that equal the $75 you don't want to spend on a bag or whatever. I'm just throwing out an example. Um, your mom definitely taught you about etiquette. She tried to teach you your style according to her style, not your style. I'm going to say, Paulette, that that's the difference between, I said this yesterday briefly, an influencer and a personal stylist. My job is not for you all to look like me. Not only is that silly and futile, but it doesn't serve you at all. Like you look different and you have different preferences and a different personal style than I do, and you should dress for yourself. Um, so often, yeah, our moms mean well, but like my mom was always like growing up in the culture that she grew up in, black was a color of mourning. And so she never wore black. Whereas black is my dark neutral in my wardrobe, and I wear quite a bit of it. I also love color, but I do have quite a bit of black. She, to this day, she will never wear black unless she's going to a funeral. So, you know, what when we and learning through osmosis, through the people that we're surrounded by, right? Through aunts and moms and sisters and whatever, is not a linear process. It's just kind of like what we pick up around us, and often we're not even aware that we necessarily have those influences on our heads when we're getting dressed. But I still hear a lot of my mom's voice in my head with certain things and some of the things that she liked and some of the things that she didn't like. And I know I'm doing the same with my girls, but you know, my goal at the end of everything is for you to tune into what works for you and also to what's modern. And I'm going to say that again, if you want to know if I'm your person, and I'm just going to say this, and I promise, I hope this comes out off the way that I intended because I want this to be supportive and not at all critical of anybody else out there who's talking about style, because there are a lot of good people talking about style out there. There is no shortage of information. Um, right? We're inundated with information in 2025. There's no shortage of people who know what they're talking about. I'm not by far not the only person in the world who knows what they're talking about when it comes to style. But I will say that when I'm on a kick of something, like for example, just say I decided I really wanted to just start meal planning and cooking healthy. Okay. This is not my goal right now. But if I wanted to start meal planning and cooking healthy, I would not find seven people. I would find one person. I would find one person because if I found seven people, I would have seven different meal plans. It would be chaotic. It would be chaotic. And so I'm just saying, when you're starting your journey, I'm not talking about forever, that I'm the only YouTube channel you ever listen to forever and ever, amen. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying, when you're starting, it can help to focus on taking the advice of one person and starting to put that advice into practice before you move on and broaden your horizons and maybe see what other people are doing. Because maybe my style is not your style, but that isn't the point. That isn't the point. Because again, I don't want you to dress like me. I want you to dress like you and look and feel your best for your life. So I hear a lot from people who say, oh, I follow someone who says that you should completely eliminate prints over the age of 50. I'm like, well, if you really hate prints, and if that resonates with you and you're just like, I'm so not a print person, then that might be your person to follow. I will never say that. I feel like prints are fun and personality, an opportunity for us to express our personality through our style. But it's just about getting them right. And it's about making them modern. And so, talking about whether or not I'm your person, I'm just going to go back to saying what I've talked about a lot, which is there are three things that I passionately believe in, and I will not back down on them because I don't believe it serves you if I back down. Um, if I believe in them, I have to speak to them. And the three things are, I believe that you should love what you wear. You should feel stinking cute every single day. Like cute, 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 cute. I love what I wear. And by cute, I'm not talking about baby doll cute. Sometimes people take issue with the word cute. It just means that you look good in your outfit. Um, so I want you to feel really good in your outfit every day. Um, I want the outfit to love you back. No toxic outfit relationships. Like me, again, talk about this all the time, like me with bad colors or me with gargantuan, flowy, oversized things that I want to wear, but I'm 5'2" and I can't wear them. So it's a two-way street. You have to love it. It has to love you back. Those are the two things. And then the third thing is, and this is what separates the women from the girls, is that it has to be modern. It has to be modern. I'm passionate that it has to be modern because I don't want anybody dressing like they did 10 years ago. That does not serve us. And if we are not aware of it, other people are aware of it, and it just makes us look out of date. And in a culture and in a society that already wants to make women over 50 or 40 or 30 or whatever irrelevant, and where we already sometimes struggle to be seen or be taken seriously, whatever it is that we're doing. I don't think we need anything additional that is going to make us look out of touch. I will tell you what makes me look out of touch immediately. Anytime I pick up my phone and I try to do something on it, one of my girls will come grab it from me and do it better. Right? I already don't need and do it faster and fix whatever it is I was trying to do. And I'm pretty savvy with my phone. I feel like for a 55 and a half year old, but there are already things that none of us are technology natives. We're all like, many of us are just relieved that we managed to get on Zoom today. 100% every time Zoom works, I'm relieved. I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord, that this worked, right? So we don't need to stack the deck anymore against us by wearing clothes that make us look like we're in a completely different era. And I do think, again, we're looking at 5 to 10 year windows where it's really important to be modern. And so that's my mantra. I'm sticking with it. Those are the three things. And if those three things resonate with you, again, I'm starting a modern movement. I want you guys on board if you feel like it is important to be modern and to look and feel your best every single day. Okay, so I'm going to see the comments really fast and then I'll share my okay, that was your life, Mary. One-off items and statement pieces that you would actually wear with things you shouldn't have. Way worse than buying and not wearing. Yeah, we've all done that. I sometimes look back on some of the things I wore and I was like, well, I know that was a trend, but that wasn't your friend. Ooh, I'm a poet. Um, you worked in scrubs for years and you had no idea style existed. Yes, Marge. So many women have a uniform for work. My sister is a dentist, and so I get it with the scrubs. Everybody in my family is in medicine except for me. I'm the one lone wolf that is not in medicine. So scrubs, maybe you've got a very corporate workplace, or maybe you've just got whatever it is, like very specific requirements for work that don't represent your style. So many women, let's face it, between 25 and 40, 25 and 45. Most women, I started my family a little bit later. I had my first daughter actually at 36. Not necessarily by choice, but I started a little bit later. But that is the thick of things for most women, where you've got jobs and kids and so many responsibilities, so many things going on that that style takes a back seat. Style takes a back seat for many women during that phase of life. You're just trying to keep up. You're wearing clothes for work, and then on weekends you're wearing leggings or whatever. And you're just like, and some of you are still in the thick of it. And I still have a child at home who's applying to colleges this week. So there are seasons in life where we have more bandwidth and we can focus on style a little bit more. And then other seasons where we're like, I'm going to simplify it as much as possible for myself. I will say, regardless of which season you're in, learning how to build a wardrobe and not just like taking it beyond what looks good on me, but learning how to build a wardrobe is next level and will serve you whether you're 30, you're 50, you're 70, you're 90. It's just a skill that I think we all need to develop. Try the, oh my gosh. Thank you, Sue. Tried the cluster concept trick last night for Christmas outfit planning, and you don't need anything new this year. Genius way to work this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will tell you, if you start creating clusters for the holidays, for work, for church, for whatever, date nights, for anything that comes up in your life, you will be surprised at how much you actually have to work with, and you will not run out and scramble at the last minute to buy something new. Thank you, Amy. What sets you apart is that you teach us to think for ourselves, but give us the just give us the tools to do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that means so much to me because my goal is for you to be your own best stylist and to replace myself. Like so that you're like, I got this, I got this. You do it for a little while, you work it, it's like a muscle, and you've trained your eye to see what works on you, what's modern, and then you just run with it. You run with it. So thank you very much. That means a lot for me. You have a 17 and a 14-year-old, 100%. Yes, yes. Okay, now I'm 17 and 19. They keep growing. What I love about your program is that it's totally comprehensive, covers every aspect of style for us to learn about ourselves. Plus, you cover all the trends and modern styles and teach us how to incorporate them in our individual looks. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Marcy. Marcy is just those of you who I have the privilege of working with are like walking billboards for just cuteness and style. And I just love. I'm so blessed to work with some of the most beautiful and stylish women. So I mean that means so much to me. Cluster system works extremely well. I wore everything I bought and didn't miss anything. Marge, yes, she just traveled and used the cluster system. I love, love, love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Completely agree. Want to be current and not an old fuddy-duddy. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I love that expression. I have not said that. I need to bring that back. Let's bring that back into rotation, that fuddy-duddy. I love that. You designed your own uniform for work. IT office work, so lots of knit dresses that you could just throw on quickly. Didn't really have casual clothes. You are helping me with my retired life. Yes, when you enter a new transition, you often need a new wardrobe. I love knit dresses. I'm a one and done dress kind of person. I love them because they're so easy. Um, my take on vintage versus modern. That's a great question, Amy. I would say treat vintage pieces as statement pieces. You want to work them into outfits with other pieces if you don't want them to look like a costume. As much as I love it when I see someone who has the boldness to wear head to toe vintage, I don't think that that works for most of our lives or most of our personal styles. But I love a vintage touch or a couple of vintage touches in an outfit with modern classics. And again, did I tell you guys about my Down with Love period? This is a very quick story. I watched the movie Down with Love with Renee Zellweger and Sarah Paulson. I was recently married. I went to a vintage store and decided I was only going to wear 60s shift dresses with matching jackets in Chicago in 2001. I was like, this is my moment. And I also pictured that every time I entered a room or a restaurant, there would be a spotlight on me, just like in the movie. So I was like, I'm just loving this aesthetic. This is so ladylike. I feel like Jackie O with lots of hair. You know, I was convinced those dresses hung in my closet until I wore them to a couple of costume parties. And, like if I had decided I was just going to grab like a cute little 60s style jacket and wear it with my jeans, that could have worked. But instead I was like, no, 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 I'm all in. I'm all in. We can't, most of the time, that is not going to work in our regular lives. So as much as I love those aesthetics, I feel like they need to be tempered with modern pieces to be wearable. Um, yes, personality pieces don't date. Tailoring the 40s and 50s and want to add, I love, love, love those silhouettes, and they knew what they were doing in terms of flattery. Robin, they knew what they were doing in terms of flattery. Um, Ooh, Doris said, I worked in retail for 20 plus years and couldn't pass up buying the new and trendy clothes that arrived daily. I worked in retail for a week and did not take home any money and owed them money when I left. So there you go. I was like this, and this was, and when I was in college, my parents were like, you can't afford to work there. You cannot afford to work there. It was the limited, it was a long time ago. But I was like, I'm buying all these clothes. This is my opportunity. Okay, so I'm gonna get started officially and kind of share. I really kind of wanted to get those thoughts off my chest. I will say one last thing. Okay, one last thing before I share my presentation. Um, Look around at the women that you see here. And if you can be on camera, I know I learn more when I can actually see people. If not, I totally understand it if you're driving or whatever. But look around at the women you see here. Look at these beautiful faces. These are your fashion friends. Many of us are going to leave this presentation and we're going to go somewhere where nobody cares about style. That is my everyday life. I don't talk about it with my mom. I don't talk about it with my sister. I don't talk about it with most of my friends. I have a couple of friends that, here and there will ask me questions and I'll give them suggestions or whatever. And then we move on with our lives and go back to whatever it is we were doing. But people are not like, oh, I'm in Netta's, ecosystem. Like I'm somebody she knows. I should be all into fashion. Nobody in my life is into fashion except for me. Not a single person. I'm telling you this because most of us are living very casual lives surrounded by people who do not care, who do not care. Now, if you are in an area where you have an opportunity to dress up and the people around you are dressing up, first of all, moving where you're moving, where you live. I want to be there. But most of us don't. live surrounded by other people who are into style. And I'm not even expecting you to be into style. What I'm hoping is that you're going to be into styling yourself and building your best wardrobe and looking your best every day. And when you get out there, you're going to see people around you that do not care and are wondering why you're so dressed up on where you think you're going. Where do you think you're going wearing that? Why are you dressed up? I want you to look around because these are the people that are going to encourage you to look your best every day. This community, and the reason I started the Closet Confidence Facebook group and made it kind of a smaller group than the initial public group that I had, the VIP group, is because I wanted a place where people were actually actively working and not just consuming things about style, but actually actively working on their personal style and on their wardrobes. So if you're not getting the support in your regular life, find it here in this group. And again, this is the reason, this is not a pitch, but this is the reason I started the Style Confidence Club. I wanted an affordable place where you could find like-minded women who are also working on their style together. And so we have a tiny Facebook group for that. And I give feedback on every single thing that's shared in that Facebook group. I on a typical day, I get about 1,500 notifications on Facebook. So I try to keep up as much as I can, but the groups that I'm committed to keeping up with are the groups, in the club and the women who are working with me in my program, because that's my commitment to them, because I know that they're actually actively working on their style, and I'm here as their personal stylist to support them. You've had strangers stop and marvel at your style, but sometimes the marveling was in the form of confusion or wonder at how you could be wearing something that would normally be considered one style in a way that made it a different style. Oh, I love that. I love that. You wish you knew color analysis, body shape when you were in fashion merchandising school and then work retail. You're revisiting at 75 and having a lot of fun. I love that. I love that. I love that. Again, many of us were busy with family and home and careers for years, and this is our time to get to explore these concepts and maybe learn them for the first time. I love that. Even though you were in fashion merchandising school, this is not something that's always taught, right? Okay, let's get started. Find your fashion friends here, look around, find someone you connect with them on Facebook, maybe share inspiration. I've had lots and lots of you guys meet up in various areas. There's a group in the DC area that meet up all the time. There's a group in Atlanta that meet up, Las Vegas, they've had meetups, Florida, they've had meetups. We're doing a retreat in early February. I'll be sending out information about that eventually. So like there's a lot of opportunity to find other people who are interested in what you're interested in. You were an executive by day and a hospice nurse by evening, and now you're retired and live on an island in Maine. You lived in Alabama for that. So at this point, you don't know what your style is. Joined the club yesterday and thankful to God that you came across my life at this time. Join. I'm so excited, and I haven't had a chance to officially welcome you yet, but we need to get on a welcome call so we can chat. And I'm cheering you on. I'm super, super excited you're in the club with us, and you're in good hands, and you've got a good community here. And you can just consider me your fashion friend for life. All of you can consider me your fashion friend for life. You'll most likely return to Facebook in the new year. I've had people who've just created like kind of dummy Facebook accounts just so they could be in the group and look at the outfits. Like you can do that too. It doesn't even have to have any real information about you. Just so you can kind of stay in touch that way. Okay, let me share my screen. And I'm going to close this window. As much as I love to see your beautiful faces, because I really do, I'm going to close this window so that those of you who are watching in the replay can see it. Okay. Confidence isn't, I want to talk, it isn't about putting together one cute outfit and then we're done. I wish, but it isn't created once, it's maintained through momentum. Modern style isn't built on one perfect outfit, it's built on systems that make confidence repeatable and easy. What I don't want you to do is to spend a lot of time every time you need to get dressed. We want a system that makes it easy. Okay, yesterday we talked about confidence filters and the modern movement, and you all signed up to join the modern movement. Today we're going to talk about making style automatic with smart routines, planning outfits with ease, and staying modern all year long without overwhelm. Okay, so we're really kind of moving through. We talked about clarity, about curation. I'm kind of skipping a little bit of phase 3 and we're going into phase 4. We're going to be talking about consistency today, but I'm going to be visiting all of these phases in my different in the next series that I have as well. So we will be hitting on all of these. I'm just kind of going out of order. Okay, so I shared a couple of modern mistakes yesterday, and I kind of wanted to give you a couple more examples of what these modern mistakes can look like. And I talked about man pants with man shoes as being something that can be a challenge. We've got trousers that are very much in style right now, and we've got loafers that are very much in style right now. And I will tell you, what you want when you're looking at, if you're looking at a boxy shoe with a boxy pant, it's often going to look a little bit like masculine or a little heavy. Instead, maybe you want to do a flowy shoe. I mean, sorry, flowy shoe, flowy pant, like a little bit more of a wide leg pant, a little bit more of an interesting pant, a little bit less of a basic pant will work much more beautifully with loafers. Also, what works a little bit better, the two examples at the right where you can see the whole top of the loafer, that works a lot better than when the loafer is hidden and you just see kind of like a chunky toe with a chunky pant. So boxy toe, boxy pant, whether it's a loafer, a boot, another shoe style, is just not in general going to be your best look, and it's going to be a lot harder. It just looks heavy and again, kind of a little masculine at the bottom. So loafers are really in style, so it's about knowing kind of how to style them in a modern way. Okay, talked about three-quarter sleeve tops, and I think Paulette was, asked me about cowl neck tops yesterday, and this is the thing with everything that we're looking at. It's very hard to make a blanket statement and say, oh, three-quarter sleeves are awful. They're not. They're not. It's that many three-quarter sleeve tops are just aimed at women over 50, and they look like the one on the far left, and those are bad. But the three on the far right are much more modern. So, you've got a taupe tee instead of that floral tee. That one is from Michael Stars. You've got a little shirt from Maurice's where the sleeve ends below the elbow, and then that top on the top right is from a brand called Nation Limited that makes really, really great knits. And that's just kind of like so there are a lot of ways to cover our arms. Sometimes three-quarter sleeve can just feel so predictable, and especially the way that they style three-quarter sleeves for women over 50, it's just like, it's kind of almost like a rite of passage that you hit 50 and you suddenly have to start wearing three-quarter sleeves, and like tops that have that sleeve length, and then pants that are a little bit too short, and they call them capris. So it's almost like, and definitely in Florida in some communities, like if you don't have capris and a three-quarter sleeve top, what are you even doing? What are you even doing? Like, you can't even get dressed without those. Um, okay. The other, I wanted to show more examples of this as well. Short jacket with long top. This is a dated look more than it is an unflattering look. It can be unflattering. And that outfit on the far right, this is an outfit from a few years ago, but she's got a shirt that is, tight and it's long, and then the jacket is shorter. This is a look that many of us were doing in, again, like 2015. This was the look. For many women, this was a challenging look because you've got a line across the widest part of your hip. If you don't have hips, or you don't have, that's not where you have a lot of shape, then that's something that could work for you if it was in style, but it's not and has not been in style for a long time. And then that other, woman with the leggings, the long top, and the crop jacket, this was it. And then the booties, this was a uniform. I wore this uniform myself. This was a uniform for years and years, long top, leggings, short jacket. It's just not in style anymore. So what we're seeing now is a jacket that comes below the hem of the top. Will this change? Absolutely. It will change because this is a trend-based thing, but it does happen to be a look that is a lot easier to wear and a lot more flattering for most women. What's great about a jacket is if you look at that outfit on the far left with the denim on denim and then the brown jacket, if you've got a contrasting jacket, a jacket in a different color than the rest of your outfit, you are visually erasing the sides of your body there. You are slimming your body on the sides, and you are visually erasing the sides of your body. And so it's very flattering and very slimming and very lengthening. Whereas the other outfits, on the right, again, they're dated, but they also are not as universally flattering. Okay, I want to show on two plus size models the problem with tucking into lower rise pants. Now, the model on the left in the white, her pants are not low rise. They're just kind of like a mid rise, but she's got a top tucked in, and she seems pretty proportional, but if she had a little bit more shape in her belly area, we would see spillage. We would see a muffin top there. So be careful with the mid rises that can sometimes act a little bit like a low rise and definitely the low rise. If you've got anything going on in the tummy area, if you are tucking a tight, especially tucking a tight top into low to mid rise bottoms, and you've got a tummy, that's going to be a real challenge. Now, the woman on the right is wearing a higher rise pant, much, much more flattering on anybody who has an apple body shape. Like if you go above where the tummy is the fullest, you're going to be able to create a much nicer, cleaner, and longer line. Let me see the question. The jacket longer than the top. Yes, the jacket is a classic. She's talking about this classic. The jacket is a classic. It's the weight style that was dated. Good question. So look for pants that come above the fullest part of your belly bulge area. Um, okay. And I showed this yesterday again. Dresses with long flowy jackets. Your dresses should have structured jackets and ideally waist length jackets, but they can even be hip length jackets as long as those jackets are not flowy. And then again, you want the difference between the jacket and the top length to be noticeable. In the outfit on the right, she has no waist because her waist is hidden under, and even if you've got a fuller tummy, then you wear the shirt higher up so that it's in the high hip or low waist area. It will cover, just so that it just covers the fullest part of your tummy. But that top is too long to wear with that jacket, and it just completely eliminates any idea of a waistline. Okay, let's talk about the three parts of a modern wardrobe because again, this is what I was going on about at the beginning of this talk is we don't learn how to build a wardrobe. We learn how to buy, we're lucky enough if we understand our body and our color and we can find clothes that are flattering. Building a wardrobe is the next tier that we should be working on. And so again, so much of the stuff is these are things that I've used with my clients and I've already done for years, but I did not have a name for them. And so I'm naming them and I'm teaching them to you so that you can do these yourselves. So the way that I see and when I have done wardrobe assessments, clients have often fallen into one of two categories. They have had lots of basics, nothing interesting, or they've had lots of interesting and nothing basic. I told you already, I've shared and confided in you that I was in the second category. I had all the fun pieces and nothing classic. And so an ideal wardrobe and a versatile wardrobe, a wardrobe that works for you, that gives you options for your life, is going to have a good breakdown of these three categories. Okay, so if you've got a lot of classics, you've got a very, very versatile wardrobe, and it's very safe, but it's boring. It can often be boring. Now, if you are a minimalist and you want a wardrobe that is entirely composed of modern classics, you can do that. But just keep in mind that each of your pieces is going to need to carry more weight in your wardrobe because you're wearing them on their own. And so you want to look for interesting shapes and maybe interesting textures since you're not adding anything else to the outfits. So minimalist is one of the hardest personal styles to get right because it can look flat and boring, or it can look cool and elevated. And so it's really often going to come down to the details, the silhouette, the texture, the quality. That's what's going to take it from being just very simple to being stylish. Okay, if you have too many updates, you are a one in every color type of person. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And then if you have too many statements, your closet is a hot mess like mine was. You have lots and lots of clothes, but nothing goes with anything else, and you never have anything to wear. Balance creates harmony and modern confidence. And this is the magic happens when we take modern classics and mix them with modern statements and modern updates, and not where we're wearing just all of one category together. Absolutely, you can do that as well, but you really are going to have that maximum versatility when you're mixing and matching across those categories. Okay, I've sometimes I say 50, 30, 20. There's not like a real, but you really want to make sure that you've got those modern classics and especially lean into the modern classics that are the most versatile for your lifestyle. Um, But those are about 20 pieces. So depending on the size of your wardrobe, you could say, okay, if I've got a 20 piece, I'm not a math major. I'm going to get this wrong. I'm just going to go with 50, 50, 30, 20, because that'll make it a little easier for me as a breakdown. But 50% of your wardrobe is modern classics, then you're looking at a 40-piece wardrobe, right? So you've got 20 modern classics. Someone is going to have to help me with the math. So, maybe you've got like, I don't know, 12 or 13 pieces that are going to be modern updates, and then the rest are going to be modern statements, more or less. Again, doing this in real time, but you want just that mix of pieces, and you want a breakdown that's roughly like that, so that you really do have a wardrobe that works for you and that is versatile. Okay, if you have all modern classics, don't everybody fall asleep at once. Many of your outfits are just going to be, these are lovely modern classic pieces. Every one of these pieces is modern, it's in style, it's it fits them well. The colors probably even suit them, like all of the things. But nobody is overly excited about these clothes. And if you're like, oh, I'm just gonna just wear modern classics again, then you're gonna want to make sure your button down and your sweater and your Henley and your pants and your jeans are fabulous. Or you're going to be looking at flat, boring, personality-less outfits. We want, we need more than just modern classics. Now, if you've got modern updates, you're like, ooh, fall colors are out. Let me buy, and I wear sweaters. Let me buy a sweater in every fall color. Um, Modern updates, I'm just going to go back for a second and remind you, modern classics bring the versatility in your wardrobe. These are the essentials, these are the staples, these are the wardrobe classics. Modern updates give you variety, they give you freshness, and they bring in the seasonal elements. So in modern updates, you are bringing in color and texture primarily. Um, and so if you're like, "Ooh, I like, I'm really into um, corduroys this season because corduroys are hot. I'm going to buy 5 corduroys. I'm going to get one in every single color." That's not necessarily a problem, but if you do enough of that, you're going to have a one in every color wardrobe, and you're going to find that it gets quickly chaotic and out of control. Um, Let me see if there are any comments. Amazes you how much larger your closet is that now than it was before knowing Netta. Yes, Marge, you had just done a major purge when we started working together. You have every fall color since those are your colors. That's different, Darcy. Thank you for saying that. If you've got fall colors, if that's your primary color palette, these may be your wardrobe neutrals. And if they're your wardrobe neutrals, they are not considered updates. They are considered your classics because they're in your core wardrobe neutrals. Modern updates are items in colors outside of your neutral, your regular neutral color palette. Okay, and then this was me, all flash and no substance. These are not actual pictures of me, although they might as well be. I had every fun, crazy, wild, out there, trendy, interesting, cool piece ever known to man, and nothing to wear with any of them. I've shared before that I once bought, it was an expensive, fully lined, hot pink felt maxi skirt that could have doubled as shelter because it was so big and so boxy. And I took it back to my apartment and realized I don't even have a solid black top to wear with this. Like, what am I going to wear with this skirt? I have nothing. Meanwhile, I'm 5'2", and the skirt might as well be like a tent for me. But statements and personality pieces are important. They give our wardrobe personality. They give our wardrobe fun. They bring joy into our style, but they can't stand alone. They need the other pieces so that the whole wardrobe plays well with others, right? The whole wardrobe gets along. I'm going to show you some outfits on over 50 women. Demi Moore, and of course Victoria Beckham, and then an influencer. I think her name is Renia on the far right. Um, I think her channel is called Ven's Wife Style. But these are 3 outfits that are composed using a combination of statements, updates, and classics. And it's really when you see women who are not just well dressed every now and then, or when you see them at a party, or when you see them at a special event, but when you see women who are consistently well dressed, whatever they're doing, whether they're at the grocery store, running errands, um, at a doctor's appointment, at lunch, whatever they're doing when they're out and about, they always consistently look well dressed. Those are women that have a mix of these three categories in their wardrobes. They have the the versatility and the foundation that comes from modern classics. They have the variety and the interest and the texture that comes from modern updates. And then they have personality pieces that are the modern statements. Um, what about the puddling pants? That's not my choice, Tori. It's absolutely, and I'm not saying that I necessarily condone each of these outfits. The puddling pants is definitely a trend. It's not one I love. Um, I do like the rest of her outfit. I also don't think that these are her colors. Um, but I am just giving you examples of just kind of like a combination of things. And also, she is making 60, I think she's 60 or 60 something, look really, really good. Yes, with the help of a lot of with a lot of help, but she does look consistently good. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the puddling pants at all. She didn't check with me before she put on this outfit. Um, okay. Excuse me. What's missing in this should say your closet. Um, let's talk about what might be missing from your closet. Do you feel like your closet lacks versatility? You might be missing classics. Do you feel like your closet lacks variety? Like you're like everything kind of looks the same. You may be missing updates. And do you feel like your wardrobe lacks personality or joy or fun? You are probably missing statements. So, I want you to comment and tell me in the comments. Write classics, updates, or statements on what you think your wardrobe lacks the most of. Are you missing classics? Are you missing updates? Or are you missing statements? I want to know in the comments. Um, because those of you who are here are going to be getting access to my modern updates and statements catalog. We have been working so hard at this. I have another stylist in training who is helping me compile some of the items in this and just working hard on really finding beautiful updates and statements for your wardrobes that I think are going to make you fall in love with your wardrobe, with your style. Let's see what everyone's saying. Classics could be considered bridge pieces, right? Acting as the neutral. Yeah, that allows the other pieces to link, speak to each other. 100% Robin. Classics are the connectors. Yeah, and bridge pieces is a great way of looking at it. But I always call them connectors. Statements. Hi, welcome, Jilly. Statements. Amy said, I think, oh, thank you, Amy. I think that was the earlier comment. Missing updates and statements. Thank you, thank you. Statements, lots of statements, classics, updates. Kathy's missing updates. Dawn has too much variety. So maybe you're missing some classics, updates and statements, missing casual statements. That's a key distinction, Doris, because often statements are just the dressy pieces. I love that. Statements, Marcy, modern classics, Susan, statements, Jackie, you're missing pruning out all stuff you don't need. Okay, that's a great place to start. That edit is a great place to start. Tori, I'm going to encourage you and cheer you on. Rather than looking at the things that you don't need, I would encourage you to do a reverse closet edit with your closet and pull out the things that you love. Rather than focusing on what you want to purge, focus on pulling out just two categories, what you love and what you wear. What you love and what you wear. That's it. Shove everything else to the side for now and just assess what you currently love and what you currently wear. That's going to help you much more get to your wardrobe goals much more quickly. Classic statements, classic statements. Still purging. Think you'll be missing some updates and some statements, Paulette. Okay, this is so good. You were missing classics, but you made a point in investing in those for fall. And now you're probably missing statements. So we go through cycles where like I was working on classics for a while and now I'm in statement mode. Classics, too much eclectic and overwhelming, Michelle. So like I was, so you might want to lean into classics. Scarves in bolder colors. Love that, Dorsey. Easy update statements. Just too much of everything. Go back to the reverse closet edit and pull out your favorites. Chances are you may feel like you have a lot and you may have less than you think you do when you find out what you're actually wearing and what you actually love. As a very classic dresser, you've had to realize that what a statement is for me might not be all that exciting to others. Absolutely. Um, Amy, I love that. A statement is a statement for you. I like crazy clothes. I like things that look like these things. You may not, and that's totally fine. It needs to be a statement relative to your personal style, not relative to Netta's personal style or Joyce's or Paulette's or any of the other beautiful ladies on this call. It needs to just be a statement for you. Um, and I will tell you, next level wardrobe building. If you once you get your bachelor's degree in wardrobe building, you can go to, and get your master's or PhD in just building a wardrobe if you wanted to with just updates and statements. Um, that is possible, but it is much trickier. Okay, modern updates and statements catalog. I'm going to send this out to you guys, those of you who are here and either watching the replays and commenting on the replays or here all 3 days for the workshops. I'm going to send that out by email, and I think you're going to love, I think, some of the pieces in this and find some of those gaps filled in your wardrobe. So let's talk again. We talked yesterday about the confidence filters and the day before fit and flatter, lifestyle alignment, dressing for your life, and then feels like you, your own personal expression. When we are talking about statements, statements are personality pieces. And because they are personality pieces, they need to express your personality, not anyone else's. So when you're looking at statements, again, it really is something that feels like you. And the more that your statement pieces align with your personal style and not with just trends, the more longevity those pieces are going to have. Okay. Um, so clarity is the filters that we use. Strategy is putting together a wardrobe, and consistency is keeping it going. So let's get into consistency. I'm going to skip over a couple of these things. Okay, I've already talked to you guys about the Style Confidence Club and how you can find fashion friends, other people who are working on their style by joining us. It is affordable, it is flexible. You can stop and start, and it's designed to just kind of get you the support in building your wardrobe so you don't feel like you're doing it alone. Okay, let's talk about homework. Identifying your missing category. I asked you guys to do that. Classic updates or statements. I want you to go into your closet and create one outfit mixing all three: classics, updates, or statements, or at least two out of three. Because some of the most interesting outfit combinations can be those fully balanced outfits where you're bringing in an update, a classic, and a statement. And then I want you to post it in Closet Confidence and write Closet Confidence Day 3 as a catalog. Um, as a catalog, as a hashtag. Sorry, and again, I'm going to be sharing these catalogs with you guys. Um, so far, what was the biggest like aha moment that you had today? I want you guys to put it in the comments. The reason I want you to put it in the comments is not just because I'm like somebody learned something, but it's because I want you to kind of underline for yourself what it is you learned, and also when you say, "Oh, this hit home with me," or "I learned this," it really helps other women who are trying to learn themselves to kind of go over what they've learned. Okay, another piece of homework, apply your three filters. Does it work? Do I love it? Does it love me back? And is it modern? I want you to apply those filters to 10 pieces in your wardrobe. Decide what to keep and what to release. So just kind of have that like look through and say, do I love this? Does it love me back? Is it modern? And go through that and use that as a criteria for the things that you're going to pull forward and really start working with in your wardrobe. And again, post an outfit in the group that you love and comment with Closet Confidence Day 3. I'm going to be randomly giving out little freebies and gifts to those of you who are using that Closet Confidence hashtag in your posts this week. We will do that, and we'll continue that through next Monday. And I'm going to just be searching for that hashtag, and anyone who shares something with that hashtag, I will reach out to and give them something fun. Okay, there are two types of dressers. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about consistency here. Are you a mood dresser or are you a habit dresser? And I want you to comment if you are a mood dresser or a habit dresser. I'm a mood dresser. I like to dress according to my mood and sometimes my energy level. Some days I feel like I have more bandwidth and I can do more and I can just have more fun with it. And other days I just need to put clothes on that support my day and just get me through that day. So are you a mood dresser or are you a habit dresser? Those of you who worked in corporate workplaces and dressed a certain way and dressed up every single day, day after day after day, year after year after year, many of you were by default, by necessity, we're habit dressers. And so I want to know, habit mood, habit, mood. A habit dresser is someone who gets up and puts on what they need to put on that day without checking in with how they're feeling about it. They're just like, oh, I put out today's outfit. I'm just going to put it on. A mood dresser is someone who some days they are more likely to dress up. Some days they're more likely to dress down, and they're really kind of tuning into how they feel and their energy level about it. Mood dressers tend to be a little bit more creative, but habit dressers are more consistent, and we can learn a lot from habit dressers. Okay, if you are a mood dresser, create clusters for your different moods. You can be like, ooh, this is a day when I feel like being out there. I'm going to create a cluster for that. This is like an at-home day when I just feel like being cozy and maybe I'm just feeling a little under the weather. I'm going to create a cluster for that. You can create a cluster for every mood. If you're a habit person, then you can create clusters for just for areas of your lifestyle. And I definitely recommend everyone create clusters for every area of their lifestyle and outfits for every area of their lifestyle. So identifying what your lifestyle categories are. Are you at home casual most days? Are you smart casual most days? Are you dressy most days? Is it work? Is it weekend? Like, what is your dress code? What are you going to name it? And how can you create clusters to make getting dressed a simpler and more consistent process? Confident, Confidence lives in repetition, not randomness. It's important to know your go-tos so that you can demystify getting dressed every day. Again, I'm trying to give you consistency in your style and not, oh, I look great when I go out, or I look great when I've spent, an hour and a half getting ready and I've got 72 discarded outfits on the bed. I want you to look good on random Tuesdays when no one is paying attention. So it's that consistency that we're going for. So I want you to know what your go-to outfit formulas are, and your go-to dress codes. So if you identify 3 dress codes, mine are smart casual, that's my everyday dress code. Um, Church, like a dressy dress code, and then an at-home casual dress code. So those are my 3 dress codes. So having outfits designated for your dress code, and then identifying your favorites of those outfits. So if you've already identified smart casual should be one of everybody's dress codes. I'm just gonna be bossy about that because I think it's the way we should be dressed when we're out and about. And it's honestly a dress code that we can wear for almost everything in our lives. So if you're gonna identify smart casual as one of your dress codes, what are your 3 favorite smart casual outfits? Think about what it is that you feel the best in your smart casual lifestyle. For me, in spring, summer, one of my smart casual outfit formulas that I wore on repeat was a dress with espadrilles and a straw bag. That was an outfit formula that I wore all spring and summer long. So I had many variations of that outfit formula because it was a go-to outfit formula for me. So find that go-to outfit formula for you in that lifestyle category and then create variations on that outfit formula. That's how you're going to make all of this kind of come together for you. You're not reinventing the wheel every single time. You're creating different versions of the same outfit. I know I'm cheating, but it totally works. It totally works. Um, Okay, let's talk about getting into a routine. Okay, so on Sundays or over the weekend, consider a reset and review your calendar for the week, pre-select outfits for key days, and then add one wild card outfit look for fun. But you're basically, maybe you're hanging them at the front of your closet, but you're deciding, maybe you're just photographing these outfits. You're deciding in advance what your rotation of outfits is going to be for the week. Now you can designate days for each of those outfits, or you can just say, these are the outfits I'm wearing, and I'm a mood dresser, and I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to choose one of these outfits that I've already chosen, and I'm going to choose that for that day. I'm going to catch up in a minute. I know there's a lot of chat. I love this. I love this. I love this. You spend time creating outfits with all 3. It was fun, and you were surprised at how many outfits you could make. Amy, I love that. Reverse closet edit, Susan. Yes, this is what we all need to be doing. I'm going to catch up on these in a minute, but I would just want to go to the bottom and see. You tend to wear dresses because they are easy. 100% me too, Michelle. At home, smart, casual, dressy for concerts, plays, and special occasions. Yes. You need clusters, dress codes other than stay at home. Nobody will see. Um, Wait, today you learned that you need clusters and dress codes other than stay at home. Yes, yes, yes. You do need clothes for things other than staying at home when nobody sees you. Smart casual, mostly house, garden, and local shops. You do try to wear dresses on Sunday, so you have a dress up even if you're not going anywhere. I love it. I love it. Find Awesome. I'm so glad you found it helpful, Faye. Find dress codes at home. You want cute casual at home. You don't want, I'm going to paint the house casual at home, right? And you can even be cute when you're gardening. I have lots of gardeners. Okay, outfit planning for the week. You're choosing 7 core outfits. You're rotating them by mood, and you're display or by whatever you've got going on, and displaying them together in one place where it makes it really, really easy to get dressed. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. Outfit planning for the month. Consider adding a new update or a new statement to your wardrobe for October or for November. We're going into November. I can't even believe it. Retire one piece that no longer serves you. And then it's like if you're not a weekly planner, consider what can I update in my wardrobe this month? What can I retire in my wardrobe this month? And can I take pictures of 10 go-to outfits that I want to wear in the month of November or the month of October? Can I just take pictures of 10 go-to outfits and make that my outfit plan? Like find a way to plan so that it works for you. It's not about the plan. I'm not attached or it won't hurt my feelings if you don't use one of my outfit planning methods. I'm just trying to show you the variety of ways that you can plan your outfits so that you plan in whatever way works for you so that you've got that consistency in your style. And then another way, of course, is outfit planning by season. Now, I'm going to talk about my wardrobe rack and why I think it's really, really important. My husband has, God bless him, has yet to complain about the fact that we have a rolling rack in our closet that is kind of blocking the entrance to our, it's in our bedroom. It's kind of blocking the entrance to our main closet. It just is where it is right now because I am always working with clothes and photographing clothes and showing clothes to you guys. But I wanted to pull out my most worn modern classics for fall winter and my new modern updates and modern statements and kind of put them in one area. And I focused my rack on separates. My dresses are hung in my closet, and then I have a lot of clothes that are not like everyday clothes that are still in my closet that I wear on weekends and whatever. But what I did was I identified 25 to 30 pieces, maybe more, that I want to make sure to wear in the next few weeks. And I put those on a rack and I'm dressing from that rack. What you can do is identify what is it that I'm most excited to wear, pull those items out, designate a section of your closet for those items or a rolling rack for those items so that you get through those items this season. And then when you've gotten through those items, you rotate those items out and you put new items in there so that your rotation, you're getting through that wardrobe, those wardrobe pieces you want to wear for that season, and your rotation stays fresh and you're really getting a chance to wear your clothes. Otherwise, if we do not do this, often what we do is we reach for the same clothes over and over and over again, and we find that we're not making the most of our wardrobes. I really, really like the idea of a wardrobe rack. Pick a rack or a section of your closet, fill it only with your current season favorites, remove anything that you don't really like that much, and rotate monthly. Rotate monthly or weekly, however you decide to do it. For many of us, monthly works well. Okay, I'm going to show you, these are the updates in my own closet. These are my current fall modern updates. I've got an olive trench. I've got a suede-ish suede shirt and skirt. I've got, a brown sleeveless top. I've got a brown silky skirt, that cream vest, a cream sweater, red sweater, and then I've got my wine silk pants. These are my current modern updates, and I wanted them to be front and center because I wanted to make sure to start working them into my outfits and figure out how to style them. Um, Next thing I'm going to talk about really quickly is to dress against your mood. On Friday, I have been sick for the last couple of weeks. This is why I sound like a man. I think I had strep throat and I don't know. But I finally was on the mend and feeling better, but I still didn't have my normal energy back. And I had a fun favorite things party at a friend's house on Friday night that I really wanted to go to. And I just I wasn't feeling it. I was just really low energy. And so what did I do? Instead of putting on sweats or something really comfy and cozy, I decided to put on a pretty dress and this is the dress I wore. That's why that picture is there. It's a dress from a brand that I love called Duffield Lane. And I love this dress. It's just a little silky dress. It's very, very easy to throw on. It's one and done. And I put that dress on and I got all, I did my hair and makeup and got all dressed up and even wore it. I'll show you in the next slide. I wore it with pumps, with these specific pumps. And I wore that outfit and I felt really, really cute. And I got a lot of compliments on my outfit. But what I did was I dressed against my mood. I wanted to dress in a way that was like very like low maintenance and easy and whatever, and instead I found an outfit that kind of turned my mood around and gave me a little bit more energy. And when I walked out the door I felt a lot better and I felt a lot more mentally and energetically prepared for the party and all the socializing because I turned it around with the outfit. I feel like often outfits can be that catalyst that kind of gets us mentally ready for wherever it is we're going. And sometimes we need to turn our mood around, change the way that we feel, and outfits can definitely help us do that. Okay, so go to clusters. I want you to this is if you only did one piece of homework, go ahead and do a cluster for an area of your life that you're struggling to get dressed in. If you're like finding that you're just in old baggy t-shirts at home all the time, create an at-home cluster and make that the first cluster you create. If you find that you're having a hard time when you go out, create a cluster for nights out or smart casual, whatever that is that you're struggling with right now. Spend that time creating a cluster for that area and make sure that you like the different outfit combinations in that cluster. And then just start wearing those on and mixing and matching those on repeat. If you can't create, this is a little rule for something new that you might be bringing into your outfit. If you can't create 3 outfits with a piece in 10 minutes, it's not earning its space. I'm just going to say you should not have to build an entire wardrobe around a new piece that you're bringing into your closet. If it doesn't get along well with others, then it needs a timeout. And that timeout needs to be in a bag with a receipt in your car so that you can return it. It should just fit seamlessly into the rest of your wardrobe. Okay, gonna review this again. Does it fit and flatter? Does it serve my lifestyle? Does it feel like me? And is it modern? If it's not a yes to all of these, it's not a closet confidence piece. Um, because I'm going to say, I really think, again, I cannot even talk because I'm losing my voice, but we get better at this as we get older. This is something that we learn, and it's like a muscle that we can work. And I don't want anybody to think that it's too late for them to feel and look their best or feel stylish. And I don't want anybody to think that style is something that is an exclusive um, you know, thing for young women. We get more stylish as we get older because we know ourselves better than we've ever known ourselves. And so this is an opportunity for you to figure it out for yourself, to take that time for yourself that maybe you haven't had that time in the past. Maybe you have more money now than you did in the past, but you definitely, whether or not you do, you probably have a little bit more time now than you did in the past. And so that time can be something that you put into looking and feeling your best every single day. Um, one last thing of homework. Create a working wardrobe rack. I would definitely encourage you to pull out the items that you're most excited to style for fall winter. Plan 5 go-to outfits that you love, and then post something with the hashtag Closet Confidence Day 3. Style confidence isn't what you wear once, it's what you repeat with joy. Like I want you to have that sense of loving what you're wearing every single day. So, oh my goodness, all these beautiful faces, some of you that popped up since I went, good to see everybody. Oh my gosh. You guys look amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. Okay. The dress, okay, I showed you the dress I wore, right? That was, I think it's, I don't remember the name. They're all named after women, but the brand is called Duffield Lane, and I love that dress. Uh, you did this all the time when working, still works. Yes, Alice, updating your accessories. Okay, Jure, for updating your accessories, look at the modern classics and start there. I'm going to answer a couple of questions. Look at the modern classics and start there. Those are going to give you a checklist for the accessories that I think are going to be the most versatile and that you're going to get the most use out of. Um, Debbie said camel handbag will update a lot of outfits. How about a jewelry piece like a cuff bracelet? Yes. Always start with the accessories. Honestly, if you're looking at your wardrobe and you feel like your wardrobe looks stale, looks dated, it looks Like you haven't shopped in 5 years, maybe you haven't shopped in 5 years. Start with the accessories. Your shoes will update all of your outfits, whereas one outfit is just one outfit. Remember my new dress, my new outfit theory, right? A new shoe theory. I'm calling it the wrong name. So old dress, new shoes equals new outfit. So yes, accessories, start with the accessories in the modern classics and then go into the accessories in the modern statements. Those are going to give you and the modern updates. So start with some classic accessories and then bring in some of those same classics in fall friendly colors and textures. Um, Blanket scarf, yes. Scarves are a great accessory this season. You guys are so good. Um, one of the things you took is you said you should have cute lounge clothes. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Put on a lounge set, and the other day a friend came over to have my husband work on her car and I didn't feel like a frump or that you had to figure out something else to wear. Yes. That we're ready for the unexpected things. Yesterday, just before I went live with you guys, I do not know who this stylish couple was, but a stylish couple stopped by our house. I do not, again, it was just on the ring cam. That's the only reason I know. And they were talking about our house and like looking at our landscaping or whatever. And they knocked on the door, and I sadly missed them because I was chatting with you guys. But if I had opened the door, I would have been like, hello, look at me, I'm already. Not, oh my gosh, let me stand behind the door and poke my head out like this because I'm still in my robe or whatever, right? So it's dressing so that whatever comes up, we're ready for it. Um, an at-home lounge video, I feel like one of those is due, Marty. That's a great suggestion. I will definitely do that because I feel like I have, as a work from home person now, I feel like I've perfected this. This has become a strength of mine. And I have a lot of outfits that don't look like they're lounge outfits, but are. They're as comfortable as lounge outfits. Um, I love this. Okay. I know that you guys had a lot, and I'm gonna check the chat afterwards um and answer some of your questions in the Facebook groups and everything. You only have one mood. Oh no, morning again. Yeah, I'm also not a morning person. I'm a night owl. I'm a night owl. I feel that. This is the reason I had to become more consistent with my outfit planning. Because if I relied on my morning mood is let me stay in my robe. That is my morning mood. But when I put on my clothes, I have a much better day. I'm sorry, Sophia. I'm so distracted by you in that gorgeous red. You look I just saw her in the corner. I'm like, look at that. Like, seriously. And this is what I mean by color can honestly turn your mood around. Her color turned my mood around. But when you're not feeling great or whatever, you don't have a lot of energy, dress against your energy sometimes. Dress against your energy. Dress to lift yourself up. Um, and that can often be like I rather than being like I'm just going to wear a neutral and disappear. Not that I have anything against neutrals. I love neutrals. But sometimes you're like I need to wear a color and just lift my spirits for the day. And again, color can lift other people's spirits. Sophia's color lifted my spirits. I will tell you, I've told the story before, so stop me if you've heard this one before, but I was at Publix at 10:30 at night buying a bunch of gingerbread houses for all the cousins at our house. And I had been wearing it since 7 o'clock in the morning and I was tired, but I was wearing a hot pink suit. It was a blazer and pants and they were hot pink, and there was a man who must have been 174 years old walking past me with his little cane, and he was dressed up and he just looked so charming and so sweet, and he passed by me and he said, well, aren't you a breath of fresh air? And I was like, thank you. I feel like a breath of fresh air right now. Like just the pink, like people looked at and they were like and whatever. I'm sure some people were like, what's she doing in Publix at 10:30 in a pink suit? But whatever. I don't care. Most people were smiling, and like I just feel like it's unexpected. And we're seeing way too much. Like I rolled out of bed like this and then I ended up at the store. And it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle sometimes to like get up and present yourself in a way that is countercultural, if we're honest, because taking care of ourselves is not something that a lot of people are prioritizing right now. So, but we know the power that looking our best has in the way that we feel every single day. And so this is why I'm starting, this is what my whole platform is. This is why I'm starting the modern movement. I want us all to be out there representing ourselves well and inspiring the people around us, giving them permission to take out their cute clothes and put them on because I know Amy's going to show up looking great. I know Petya's going to show up looking great. I know Marge is going to show, like people are going to be looking around and saying, "What? What? Like Amy always looks good." That gives me permission to dress up a little bit when I'm running errands or when I'm meeting her for lunch or whatever it is that we're doing. Like you can be that person in your circle. And if you're looking for support and encouragement and a circle of friends to talk about style with who speak the same language, who are using the same terminology and who understand what we're talking about. I hope that you find this here. This is the nicest group of women. I feel like it's like attracts like. It's the nicest group of women. You all are the reason that the group is so nice. I'm one person, but everybody in here is just a lovely human. And so other lovely humans are drawn in. And so if you're a lovely human, we welcome you. If you're a nice person and you are genuinely interested in working on your style and supporting other women through that process, we would love to have you. And you're going to find a lot of people here who are in there with you in the thick of it, working on their own style together. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I know I talked over, and thank you so much for hanging out with me a little bit longer today. But I'm going to encourage you, use those confidence filters, learn the art of building a wardrobe using the modern classics updates and statements, and then come up with a system of outfit planning so that you have consistency. You have consistency in your style every single day. One of these things is going to be the hardest thing for you. For me, the hardest thing was consistency. I built the wardrobe. I knew what looked good on me, and I needed to work habits into my life so that I consistently looked and felt my best. And so what is it that area? Is it the confidence filters that is a challenge for you? Is it the building the wardrobe that is a challenge for you? Or is it consistency that's a challenge for you? Find one of those things and just kind of go all in on figuring that out with my help and support. There are lots and lots and again, if you choose to join the Style Confidence Club, I will be cheering. I have a party every time someone joins. If you don't, I have Facebook, I have YouTube. I have lots of resources for you that you can take advantage of that can help you build those skills because it's a muscle. Like I said, I can't teach about any other kind of muscle, but I can teach you about the style muscle. So love you guys so much. And I'm so thankful that you have joined me for this mini closet confidence. It's not really mini, it's 3 days, but this shorter closet confidence series. I'm going to do another one coming up. So stay tuned for that. And we will cover the other areas in the other phases in the closet confidence system. Mwah! Love you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you.